All right, everybody, Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads, and today we're going to walk through how to get at least one more listing before the end of the year and put a couple of $1 million in the pipeline in January. Absolutely something within the realm of likelihood if you take advantage of what we're going to talk about today. So go ahead and let me know where you're coming in from. Go ahead and say hello. And yeah, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to hear John. All right, dude. So John, I'm actually going to mention that email that you were telling me about. I mentioned that email. Probably will mention it for another few days. Then it's going to start getting a little bit too late. John, if I mess anything up on that, you'll let me know, of course. And for everybody that's joining us here, make sure at our website, check out these videos. And John, who's actually with us here on the call, I just put the entire 12-minute video up. My interview with him on our homepage right there. Highly recommend it. On the first day that he got into this, he made 5 phone calls to expireds. And John, I'd love to actually talk to you sometime because John connected with this expired homeowner and he wanted to relist at a too high of a level versus what John was talking to him about, what it should be listed at if you really wanted to get it sold. And to John's credit, he did not take the listing at the high level. And John followed up with the homeowner for a few weeks, giving him some market updates and just letting him know what was going on in the market with pendings and solds. And the homeowner appreciated what John was doing and ended up listing with John at the price John said initially that it should be listed at, not the higher price that the seller wanted initially. And a lot of credit to John for that, because it's easy for us to take a high price listing just to get a listing. And then we figure, well, we'll deal with it later. We'll do price reductions. And John wasn't doing that. And so I really give him a lot of credit, especially as a somewhat of a newer agent, although he's got 20 years experience in banking. So he's not new to business, but still, I think a lot of us would have acquiesced and we would have bent the knee to that homeowner and we would have listed it at the higher price. And John, I might want to get you on another call and just talk through how you did that, because I think a lot of people need to learn taking a high price listing is not always in our best interest. Can we get a price reduction later? Of course we can, but we don't want to I bet that homeowner respects John a lot more now because of the education and the follow-up and not taking the listing initially. And so I think there's a lot of value in what John did there. And yeah, going active on January 20th, that's awesome. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. And again, like I said, you didn't take that at a super high level or a super high price that could have been to the detriment of both the homeowner and to you. So good job on that one. Also, take a look at the video from Scott Murray, a $32 million producer who put $2.7 million in the pipeline in 3 days. That was awesome. I was actually thinking it was 2 million and I was going to send something out how he put 2 million in the pipeline. But I was like, let me just confirm with him first. And he goes, no, it was 2.7 million I put in the pipeline, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then we got JJ up here who put 4 listings in 6 weeks. And she's only been in the business for a year. Absolutely phenomenal. So what we're going to walk through today is the presentations and how to use them to win listings, essentially win listings before you get there, how to convert seller leads, how to convert expireds, how to convert FSBOs. Now we do full on webinars on each one of these things. So we get into a lot more depth in other webinars. In this webinar, it's going to be a great overview. We're going to go through some of the key points, some of the key engagements, and I'm going to try to talk about also how to use this in an open house with a few scripts to get more of the homeowners coming through, whether they're thinking about selling right now or not, engaged with you, so that any homeowner that comes through your open house, you're going to be able to engage with them. And then the ones that are thinking about selling sooner than later, you're going to be able to get them into your system and in such a way that you're going to get a lot more listings from your open houses. I look at 2026 if you do 3 things. And I was with one of the top coaches in the industry last week, and he said the top 5 ways to get business: FSBOs, expireds, cold calls, open houses, SOI. I would throw in just sold marketing. I think just sold marketing is one of the keys as well. And so today we're going to be talking about FSBOs, expireds. We'll touch on open houses just a little bit. And then SOI database, the same thing. So we'll talk about the seller leads within that and how to engage with them. In listings to leads, you can create these for specific listings. You can create them for farm areas. And this here is for a specific listing. You can create these in 2 to 5 minutes, where the homeowner's home is embedded in every image in here. This is an interactive presentation. It's available on a PDF, so you can print it like you guys see right here. You got the flipbook version that you can share via text, you can share via email, you can share via postcards, door hangers, print flyers, in a lot of different ways. A few of the highlights of this, aside from the fact that the homeowner is now looking at their home all throughout this thing, which in and of itself is going to help you close the deal. But first of all, you see the domain over here. So it says 834 Mazarian.worldsbestlisting.com. So I've got the street address with worldsbestlisting.com. This right here is one of the first just mind-blowing things that sellers love based on feedback from our clients. When we first launched these, this was not highlighted in yellow. And then our clients came back to us and said, you got to highlight that, because sometimes I forget to point that out to the homeowner. And when I do, homeowners absolutely love it. As you can imagine, if you're a homeowner and the agent is telling you having 834mazarian.com would be fine, but to have 834mazarian.worldsbestlisting.com or America's Best Listing or The Best Listing, we got 7 or 8 different custom domains like this that you can select from. But as we keep going, we now see a QR code. And what is absolutely mind-blowing, and Daphne, I'm going to be walking through that. So you just sit back and watch and relax, and you're going to see this. And if you got your account, when we get to that part, you can do it with me. So look at that. I just scanned the QR code, and now I'm looking at the property website, and I will show you something. Check this out. I've got this in there. It's a little hard to see, but it says I do property videos of all my listings, and I've got an example of one. And this again, I know it's a little bit hard to see, but there you go. And then right below that, it says I do all of my listings get professional 3D tours. You can see my screen right there. And I have an example of a 3D tour. And then I got my 100-point home marketing plan video. All of my photos say all of my listings get professional photos. So we are able to not only have an amazing presentation, but we're able to get our property website for their home on their phone. They could also send a text message. So one of our clients who used to be with EXP, he won the EXP listing presentation of the year a while back. And we didn't even have this. He was creating this on his own for every single listing presentation. And a little tip that was cool, he would walk into the listing presentation with the sign writer, right? Just like this one right here, his version, and with the text code, and he would have the homeowner send a text. Now we've got it embedded. We've got the QR code. And then we got another, then we have QR code specifically. And then we walk through coming soon, just listed, open house, active, pending, marketing to just sold. And I'm going to go through how to present this here in a little bit as well. And then you got your client review website from listings to leads and a few scannable QR codes for different guides for homeowners. And yes, Vince, I'll make sure I do that. And John says, can you show how to create the booklet with a... Yes, John, 100%. That's exactly what I'm going to do in this call today. You can see here, I got this for FSBO, so we can create these for sale by owner. And notice on all of these, I've got the homeowner's name and property address on these covers as well. So if I go back to this one, And we go back to page 1, prepared for Frank Costanza at 834 Mazarine Lane, and that's his house on the cover. Prepared for Ken Franklin at 2845 Gold Court, Folsom, California. And it's essentially the same thing, except now we're talking about FSBOs. And so it's the same thing, but now we're talking about for sale by owner. And then we got expired. So all those expired listings that are coming up that we're going after, right? The complete marketing plan to get your expired home sold. Prepared for Eric Braden at 489 Whitney Lane in Folsom, California, and that's his home. And I will show you also how to add the introduction to this. I will show you coming soon is optional. You don't have to have coming soon on here, but you can. And I recommend it, even if you don't do coming soon as a separate listing status, but to discuss coming soon in the facet of what we do before the listing goes to market. We do the photography, we do light staging, make sure the curb appeal looks good, get all of our marketing in order. So coming soon, even if it is not a marketable status for you, it is a great thing to talk about in here, in the sense of, like I said, getting the photos, getting your marketing set up, and being able to hit the ground running on day 1 at just listed. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. You can do canceled. All right, so we got the canceled right there as well. And I love it. I love it. Charles Hall, where's the expired flip book? I couldn't find it the other day. That is what we are going to do right now. All right, Rick Hancock, do you create the introduction? No, you do that, but we do have a prompt in the mastermind group, and I want to also bring over a couple of, I'm going to leave this right here, and I'm going to come back to that in a little bit. So when you're in listings to leads, let's go to the listings dashboard. And before we do the introduction or the coming soon, let's just get to the heart of the matter. And one more thing before we do, you can also create these for specific farm areas like this one right here. Let me bring up one second. Let me bring up my StreamYard camera so I can see what I'm doing. So not only can you create these for specific listings, you can create these for farm areas that are not listing dependent. So for example, this would be great for the seller leads in your database that people have converted. This would be great if I want to do door knocking for all the expireds and FSBOs in a particular farm area. So there's a lot of great flexibility with this, but let's get at it. Step 1, click add listing. We're going to select manual, and it all starts right here. There's a drop-down called status. Whether you do listing presentation, you come down towards the bottom, for sale by owner, expired, or canceled. All 4 of these statuses will create the flip books and the PDFs. And there's even a JPEG version that you can download into a zip file. So you got a flip book, you got a PDF, you've got the JPEG zip file, and there's even a landing page. So some of our clients actually use the landing page as well, which is really cool. So I will select expired, and notice name, email, and phone number. So I'm going to put, for the name, I'll put Charles Hall, and put chall@gmail.com. For phone number, I'll just put something like that. I will put the street address. I'm going to put 8412. Someone give me a street name. I always come up with Gold Elm. Where Mazarine came from, I got no idea. I'll just put Douglas Lane, Folsom, California, 95630. For price, I'm going to put TBD. And if I know all of this stuff, I can do this. Not needed. If you don't know this, don't need to worry about it. Sometimes I put dummy property description, or you can put TBD as well. Click, yeah, tree names. I know. Elm, oak, maple, For expired, you're going to see a dummy photo. Here's what I recommend. No, this is fine. This is okay. But let me show you. So let's start here first, because sometimes people go, how do I get a photo of the property I'm going to be talking to? Or even how do I get a photo for my area if I want to use this in more of a farming situation? And I'm going to give you this link. So hold tight. I'm going to give you the link that I'm bringing up here. And let me just drop this into the chat. John, when you're doing it for a specific property, you don't worry about the headline. It's just going to be the property address. So you can go to Google Street View. No, you can look at Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever, if you want to find a photo that you want to use. But what I recommend, go to Google Street View, search put the property address into your browser. Google will come up typically, and you can drop it on Google Street View. Now, not every single home in the world is going to have this capability, of course. Some clients will go by and take a photo of the property as well, but this works 90% of the time at least. So here's my Google Street View. Now, I'm not going to use that. What I did is I went to Google Street View, I took a screenshot of the property, and I can't use that. That's garbage, right? That's not going to work. So what I did is I ran it through ChatGPT, and I'll tell you the prompt in a minute. And ChatGPT gave me this. Beautiful. I actually tried this in Gemini the other day, and Gemini was awful. Gemini was actually just, all it did was kept regenerating the Google Street View with the same prompt. And then I tried a few other prompts. I could not get Gemini to work, but whatever. ChatGPT was phenomenal. Here's the prompt. I said, can you make this look sharp without the cars? And if there's garbage pails, garbage bins, telephone wires, the sky is gray, whatever. So just ask it to take out the things you don't want in there. So you can see here in the image, the Google Street View, there are 2 cars. In the final version, right? Google Street View, 2 cars, final version, beautiful. And so that was just my prompt. And I put, so I can use in my marketing in landscape format. And then I got a little bit greedy, and I used another prompt, and this is in the link I gave everybody. And I asked it to do a golden hour version. I put a few different criteria there that you'll get into that you can get at the link I just put into the chat. Charles, yeah, I don't know, dude. You're gonna have to use something, right? Worst case scenario, like I said, check out Zillow or go by and take your own photo. But I think I got Pro ChatGPT maybe, and this a Gemini. There's a lot of you can look up free photo AI tool and maybe find another one. So let's go back to step 2. So we got our photo, whether we found it on Zillow, we took it to Google Street View to ChatGPT, or how else would we do? Oh, go take the photo ourselves, whatever. So we got the photo. I'm just going to take that one right there. And it's cool because the homeowner, if you do it right and you get a good photo, the homeowner is going to be, man, this person is a marketing genius, right? This photo is better than even the professional photo that our agent took. So we uploaded the photo, and I'm going to delete the default one. I don't want that in there. I don't need it. Sometimes people will leave that photo because they just don't want to upload their own photo. And again, this could be for a listing. And if you're in a listing presentation, that photo won't even be there. It'll just be empty. So you upload a photo of the property you're going to have a listing presentation at. You're going to upload the photo of the FSBO. You're going to upload a photo of the canceled listing. You're going to upload a photo of the expired listing like we're doing here. And I'm just going to click Save and Add Seller, Save and Start Marketing, and we're done. Now all we have to do is just wait a few minutes for that to convert to the flipbook. You can see the landing page right here. And I apologize. My internet is so bad today. I was worried that I was going to be able to do this webinar. My upload speed is like at 15. I don't know what's happening on the internet today around here, but so there's what the cover is going to look like. All right. The complete marketing plan to get your expired home sold. If I had used status listing presentation, it would just say the complete marketing plan to get your home sold. If I use the status FSBO, then it would say FSBO home sold or canceled home sold. Everybody, are we all good so far? So we know how to create these for a specific property. And we'll come back to that 8412 Douglas Lane in Folsom. And one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check separate listing address with comma. And you're going to see why I do that in a few minutes. Now, let's go do this for a farm or our sales area. And this guy has a ton of applications. In fact, you can order these booklets from us. And Vince, if you want to grab that link, I don't know why I didn't grab the link, but you can order these from us that are perfect for all of those expireds in your area where you don't want to have to do every single one on their own. We do 2 expired trainings a day, 7 a.m. Pacific and then 4 p.m. Pacific. And we walk through your A leads, your B leads, your C leads. And we talk about how for the A leads, you want to create these specifically for them. And then for the B and C leads, that you would just use the general one that we're going to create next. And this is true for your seller leads in your database. And I'm going to walk through how to start getting this out there. But let's go back to the listings dashboard. We'll come back to that in a minute. And let's do it again. Let's go add listing. And this time, let's do it for a listing presentation. Manual. Status, listing presentation. And for the listing presentation, I'm going to do it for a specific listing, and then we'll do the farm next. So DAPHNE HANRAHAN. I think I misspelled it, Daphne. I apologize. And I know that's not your email. I'm just putting something in there. Phone number. Again, headline. If I want to add a headline, beautiful home in Folsom, I can do that. No problem. And then street name, I will say 4811 Oak Tree Ave, Folsom, California. And again, I'm going to do price TBD. I'm not going to worry about all of this stuff. Again, here, I can either put in some filler text. I can take what I know about the property, run it into ChatGPT, put something here for now, or just put TBD. What you don't need to do is you don't need to overcomplicate it. Now, notice here, there was no dummy image. Like I mentioned, it's just going to be blank. So we're going to upload. Again, we're going to either find a photo online. We're going to do Google Street View to ChatGPT or another AI image generator, or we're going to go take an image or go take a photo of the property. And I'm going to use, no, I don't like that one. I don't want to waste time here when we got better things to do, but let me just see if I can find an image. I like that one a lot. Insert. Because for the farm area, I'm going to give you another prompt for the images, because for the farm area, what we do is we take an image of a home in the area and we have ChatGPT recreate it, different color, different garage, different roof line, different door, so that it's not of any specific home, but it is a amalgamation of homes in the area. And hopefully that made sense. And if not, maybe it'll make a little bit more sense a little bit later as when we get there. And just save and start marketing. All right. And that's going to populate. So let's go back now and look at the one we did just a second ago. And you would think I would have unlimited listings in my account, wouldn't you? But apparently that is not true. No problem. I'll just delete a listing. And then I will ask my team to give me unlimited. You think I own the damn company. You'd think I should have an unlimited listing. So here we go. 8412 Douglas Lane expired. That was the first one we just did for this expired listing. Here's the flip book. Prepared for Charles Hall, 8412 Douglas Lane in Folsom. That's Charles's home. There's my introduction. We'll get to that next. And there's Charles's home on every image throughout this. And imagine Charles is my homeowner, 8412 Douglas L. I can actually I can change that. If it ever comes up a little bit weird, I'll show you where to change that in a little bit. .worldsbestlisting.com, but that works. That's totally fine. Looks beautiful. I'm going to scan the QR code. If anybody wants to scan that QR code, feel free. If I need to make it bigger, let me know. I can make it bigger, but let's see here if I got it. Boom. And I mean, it literally took what, like a minute and a half to create it. And there we go. And what's really awesome, when I scroll down this thing, I got maps and local, I got schools, I got a community video, I got all my client reviews, more listings, and then I do property videos of, let me try to get that in focus. All right, maybe, oh, I almost had it. So remember, I showed you how I had that section in the one that we looked at initially. I got it set up so that this shows on every listing presentation, expired, canceled, and FSBO, because I want them to know that I do these things for all of my listings. And here's that little blurb on my single property website for the 3D tours. So that shows up everywhere. QR codes coming soon, just listed. It's absolutely amazing. Download listing presentation. That's the PDF and the JPEG. So I can download the PDF and I can print it. And we've had clients print this and put it in a $2 folder in Win Listing Presentations. You can download it and use like a $50 thermal binder. You can download it, use a spiral binder, but this is the printable version. And it's amazing. Yeah, this is so amazing. Let's go back to listings. Let's look at the listing presentation that we did. And then let's talk a little bit about using it for the farm/database. All right, listing presentation. That's one that we just did. 4811 oak tree. And apparently I misspelled oak. No, Rick, you don't have to purchase QR codes. Nope. No, dude, you saw me just create it. I literally just created that presentation. And we're going to look at this one now. Even though I spelled oak wrong, I put a T at the end of the K, after the K, which I should not have done. Can you email it? Yeah, of course you can email it. Yeah, and I recommend it for sure. John, do you have to upload multiple photos? No, you don't need to. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really get the question about the QR codes though, because they're automatically added. I appreciate the question just because if you got the question, I know other people do, and I want to make sure I address that properly for you so that there's no confusion about that. So let me know if that made sense. These QR codes are just automatically created. All right. 4811 Oak Tree World's Best Listing.com domain. And I got the QR code right there. So again, this is automatic. That's just completely automated. And I'm going to scan the QR code again. Let me tilt my screen just a little bit. And I can't. Oh, there we go. I couldn't get it into focus. And boom. Oh, gorgeous. Look at that. All right, a little out of focus, but you get my point. All right, this is beautiful. Sorry, I meant the text codes. No, the text codes work too. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Daphne said I scanned it. It's awesome. Yep. All right. Real quickly, let me show you something. Because this may happen to you. You see where it says, see how that's black? Okay. Once in a blue moon, it's not very frequent. It's very infrequent, but yeah, that's black. That's not what we want. So here's a little kind of thing that you're going to do for that. For example, all I need to do is change something and then save it again. For example, maybe I just can say, you know what, let me just put 3, 2, or I go delete the photo, reload the photo. But just by doing what I just did right there, it can be anything. And I could, whatever, right? Maybe I add a headline, or again, I go to photos and I delete it and reload it. And then what's going to happen is it's going to regenerate. It's just going to regenerate right there. And then you should be good to go. So I haven't seen that happen in a few weeks. So that's the first time I've seen that happen in quite a long time. But when it does happen and you got somewhere to go, you don't want to be trying to get a hold of support and waiting around to figure out what, especially if it's a Saturday morning and you got to set. And this is also why let's try to make sure we don't wait till the very last minute, although sometimes life happens. Again, if you ever generate the flip book and one of those images didn't fully register, it could be anything that you change and then save it, and then it will regenerate. And so that's the way to regenerate that if there's ever any issue. JB, yes, there is. I'll get to that a little bit later. Thank you for the question. That's awesome. So before we get to the farm area, let's talk about the introduction and coming soon. And then I want to role play using these. And then I want to walk through how to start getting these out into the market. So for the introduction, listing presentation and listing presentation print, introduction right there. So again, on the listings dashboard, click on the listing presentation tab just to the right of listings, listing presentation print, and on the right, you'll see introduction. And I've got a prompt that I will give everybody. Give me a second. I'm on my other monitor. Let me pop over here. I'm going to go to the mastermind group and I'm going to search and I'm going to say introduction prompt. And you can use whatever you want. Prompt for polishing. And then there's another one here. In fact, I'll just give you this whole link. And so what you're going to do for the prompt is highlight this and copy it. And if you want to copy the example starter one, you can do that too. So copy that, drop it into your whatever AI you want to use, and then take your current bio. It's probably on your website. Maybe it's on Zillow. And if you don't have one, just say, I don't have one. Just make me up one or put in some notes. I've been in real estate for 5 years. I'm whatever. I like puppies. I was a veteran. I was in prison for 14 years, right? Whatever it is, that's part of your bio. And it will take that. And what is really good about this bio is it works for regular listings where it's a homeowner, they want to list their property with you, and or expireds. And you will see in my bio, did I put this link into StreamYard? I don't think so. Hold on a second. Let me grab that, put that link right here. Since there are not our listings on the expires, do we get unlimited or pay? No, you're going to pay, but I'm telling you, Daphne, John's already put what, John, you got 1.5 million in the pipeline now in the last 4 to 6 weeks. Scott Murray put in 2.7 million in 3 days. So I would say if you got 8 or 9 listings, then just upgrade. We are seeing so many people upgrading their accounts because they're starting this and they're having success with it. If you got 8 or 9 listings, hopefully you can afford it. And if you've only got 2 or 3 listings, then don't worry about it. Just do 3 or 4, right? Get some momentum going, get some conversations going, and then upgrade. So yeah, that would be my recommendation. Okay. So for the coming soon part, in fact, you know what, before we do coming soon, let me role play with you how to present this. All of you are going to be different. Some of you are going to be better than me. I know you are. You're amazing as it is. But let me just share with you a few things that clients have shared with me because you can integrate this into what you're doing. And I'm making this up on the fly. I should always prepare this ahead so I'm a little bit smoother. Before you sit down, you should know, do they have a time frame for moving out? All right. Or is it just they want to be done as quickly as possible? If not, make something up. All right. And I may make something up that's appropriate. So let's say I'm going to listing presentation and the homeowner, they have a job transfer. They want to move by their kids. They have a new job. And so they just want to be out of there. And so I would say, okay, great. It's December 10th right now. we have 30 days of escrow, which is standard. Average days on market is 45 days. So that would be 75 days, assuming average days on market. And I'm hoping that we can beat that with my 100-point home marketing plan. But 45 days on average days on market, 30 days escrow. That's again 75 days. So 75 days from now would be January, February 25th. Okay. So February 25th. And I'm going to write that down in my calendar. So I'm going to go to February 25th or on a notebook page, and I might put February 25th, close of escrow. Okay. January 25th, in contract. Okay. 45 days of escrow would be December 10th. Is that right? Yeah, it's December 10th. Yep, that's right. I don't know, 31 days, whatever. I'll put just listed. Now, actually, I've already messed myself up a little bit because the likelihood of us listing today and going to market today is next to none. Even if they wanted to sign the listing agreement today, which is our goal, the idea, make sure that you account for that. But here's the point. So they agree to the February 25th, right? And you look at them and get their agreement and they say, yes, okay. And then January 25th, 30 days of escrow, then that'll put us at February 25th. Okay, great. That sounds good. And then let's just say it's 35 days of escrow or 35 days DOM. So let's just say December 20th. And let's not worry about holidays. Let's just assume there's no holidays in this world that we're talking about, because we know holidays are. Who wants to list on December 20th? Some will, but not everyone. So I'm going to say December 20th would be when you'd want to go to the market, okay, as either coming soon or just listed, depending on how you do it. And you get them, yeah, okay, that sounds great. And then leave it at that, okay. And then go through your presentation. And this, all you got to do is let the presentation work for you. Just comment on each one of these, add a little bit of color to it, right? We do paid ads on Facebook and Instagram. We get thousands of views. We generate a lot of great leads. And so that way we can contact them about your property. And then we also do social media marketing. We do YouTube videos. And if you do property videos and 3D tours, mention that as well. We do print marketing, right? We're going to let your neighbors know about your home being for sale, because a lot of times people have friends and family, or they just know other people that love to move to the area. So we want to make sure that they all know about your home being for sale. We're going to do email marketing. We're going to give you some tools to share with your sphere of influence, because again, similar to the neighbors, you may know people who know people that are looking to buy in the area. And in this market, we don't want to leave any stones unturned. We do short form videos on Instagram, on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, because on those platforms, we can get your home in front of people who may be looking for areas around yours, but not yours specifically. And so your home may be missed by all the people looking on Zillow and somebody's website, because the search is set up to exclude your home. So when we do these kind of videos, when we do these ads, people that are not looking for your area have much more opportunity to see your home. All right. We got beautiful websites and virtual tours. We got flyers with QR codes, text code, and you see the URL that I'll be using to market your home. It's your street address, 4811 oaktree.worldsbestlisting.com. And we have sign writers and text codes, our mobile marketing, QR codes, our reach and frequency across multiple channels at every stage of the listing to maximize the people that are seeing your home. And does it have the part we send to your neighbor? Yep. Yep, that was in there. The YouTube videos do auto post. Yep. And so here's where you get here, okay? When you get to this part right here, this is when you start writing down on your notebook or calendar. So I was just role playing how it's going to work before I got into here, but you would do all of that stuff when I talked about February 25th, close of escrow, January 25th in contract, December 20th to go to market. You start that right here. All right. So I get to this part And this lines up to get that listing agreement signed so beautifully. All right. You may have a better way of doing it. I'd love to hear it if you do. But one client in particular was shared with me this is so successful. So he would say right about here. So whether you do coming soon or not, let's say you don't do coming soon. A lot of people don't. So I would say I use coming soon marketing to make sure that we got all the photos, we get your property looking perfect, because when we go to market, it's showtime. This is like Hollywood. So we want to make sure that your home is absolutely perfect when we put it on the market. So we're going to use the coming soon timeframe to make sure that your home is just absolutely perfect. And if you want to be, so I'll say, if we go to market on December 20th as just listed and December 15th as coming soon, all right, and then we do just listed. And again, then we'll do an open house the week after. Now, if you don't do open houses, you could just say, sometimes we do open houses, sometimes we don't, or a lot of our sellers don't like to do open houses and see if they want to do an open house or not. So just because it's here, you can talk about it. But if you don't do it, then just say, we're not going to need to do an open house for your property because we have other things that we do in place of it. Then we're going to be active for average days on market is about 35 days. Okay. And get them again. They're agreeing to all of this as you're going through it. And then we're going to go into contract. So hopefully we'll be in contract by January 25th. Average days of escrow in our area is 31 days, whatever it is, right? 30 days typically. But we are not going to stop marketing your home just because we got an offer. We are going to keep marketing your home until, and again, it depends on you. Either we close escrow or contingencies are removed. All right. We are not going to stop marketing until it's a done deal. And sellers absolutely love it. They're going to be nodding yes up. All right, great. And so again, we're going to market your property until it is sold. Makes sense? Okay, great. Makes sense. We'll keep you updated weekly. We give you phone calls. We'll be dropping you an email, making sure that you're comfortable and aware, up to date on what's going on. We want to make sure we got full transparency with you. And later on, you can take a look at my client reviews right here. And there's a few other reports for you. And then you got the listing agreement right there. And just say, if you're ready to get going, I'm ready to get everything going for you as well. As you can see, I got everything lined up and we can start marketing your property to get it sold. And as they're going through this thing, they are just absolutely floored. We had a client a couple of weeks ago share with us that the homeowners, by the time she even got to here, they were asking her, where do they sign? They were just so blown away. They just said, where do we sign? Yeah, awesome, John. And I tell you, we got a massive update to that coming soon, which I can't wait. So here's the introduction. The coming soon, to turn that on or off under settings, right there. I'm allowed to market coming soon. Even if you're not allowed to market coming soon, I would recommend keeping that on. You don't have to use coming soon or select it or even have it in your account. But that will, if I uncheck it, it will take that page out of the presentation. I like to leave it in there, but it's up to you. You have your choice. For the traffic reports under listings, if I go to in any listing, you will see, is it seller information? It probably doesn't have it for a listing presentation. Let's go to a regular listing. If I go to this listing, and you may have to go to support, dude. I may not know. We got the seller marketing overview, which is pretty sweet, where we just talk about all the different tools and everything. And yeah, for the traffic report, I don't know. I know we got it. You may have to ask our support. That is so funny. You'd think I would know. The statistics? Yeah. I know it's in there somewhere, but I don't know why. Oh, right there. I'm sorry. I was under edit. It's under market listing, traffic report. And then you can set that up, right? You can download, you can send it. And and you can set it up to send every week, but yeah, I don't see where that is. But yeah, ask our support team. Maybe it's, oh, send recurring. So send recurring every week, save. All right. Let's talk about the farm area. And then I want to talk about a few ways of getting this out to people. So for your farm area, and this is good for expireds, this could be good for seller leads in your database. So keep those two in mind as the two biggest applications. Farm area for expireds, meaning if I go to My Plus Leads right now and I could download 200 expireds and upload them into my CRM, right? Make sure I got the do not call and everything. And I've got phone numbers that I can send a text and I got emails that I can send an email to. And I can't create 200 of these. That would be nuts. But what I can do is create one that would be appropriate to send to all of these expireds that I just downloaded from My Plus Leads or RedX or Vulcan 7, whatever. Similarly, I've got 200 seller leads on my database. I can't create 200 of these for every seller lead in my database. I can create them for some of the key ones. Right? There might be some really key A-list seller leads I've got that I know they're thinking about selling soon. I just haven't been able to get a hold of them. Maybe what I do is I print this, I create it, and I send a text, I send an email, and then I door knock or mail a copy of this to them. So what I would rather you see me do for the expired or for the listing for the seller leads in your database? What do you guys want me to do? Go ahead and vote real quickly. Let's see what we got here for people wanting to see. And while I'm waiting, let me show you something here. On your dashboard, on your listing leads dashboard, there is an email. If you scroll down to on the dashboard to database email blast, thinking of selling after the holidays. And yeah, let's do that one. Thinking of selling after the holidays. This email is for your seller leads. John sent this to 50 expireds and got a listing appointment. But it's also meant for the seller leads in your database. We had a client, she sent what I'm going to show you next. She sent to 173 seller leads in her database, 17 conversations, had a listing in 1 week, like 7 to 10 days. Might have been a little bit more than a week, but it was like a week and a half. She had a listing signed. They called her up. Asked her to come over, and she got the listing signed. She also sent it to expireds, and I'm going to send that to myself, and I'll show you that. And she got a come list me call from an expired. How amazing is that? Are you kidding me? And let me pop that out of so this email is in your account. You can copy and paste this into Lofty, Follow Up Boss. So wherever your seller leads are, and that is going to the one in my account. So this is the general one that everybody's got in their accounts right now without even doing anything. Remember I did the introduction? This is the flip book of that one. All right. So this is the flip book version. And so, yeah, this email, get that to your database. All right. It looks like expired. Daphne, it was right on the dashboard. Just scroll down. Let's see. Someone said, which is better? I don't, Susan, everyone's got their opinion on that. You can ask 20 agents and you're going to get 7 different answers on which is better. In fact, I just saw a comment somewhere. It was My Plus Leads, Vulcan 7, Espresso Agent, RedX were all people said had the best data. I don't know. Put it this way, none of them are perfect. So even when I go to My Plus Leads and I start going through the expireds every so often, not every so often, maybe 10% of the time, what is showing me as expired is actually either relisted or sold. And I know RedX has the same problem as well. None of them are perfect, put it that way. All right, so here we go. I'm going to walk you through how to create this for your general farm area. And before we do, let me just show you here. Listing presentation, the 100-point home marketing plan to get homes sold in Placer County. The only difference is, instead of putting the street address, I put for the street, the 100+ point home marketing plan 2. For city, I put get home sold in Placer. And state, I put county. All right. And I'm going to click on the flip book. And notice it says the 100-point home marketing plan to get home sold in Placer County. Again, let me show that to you. So when I'm adding that listing status, what was this? Listing presentation. And for street, I put, in fact, I'll put this in here. Street, I put that. For city, and obviously you're going to change it. I'm putting this in the chat. Get home sold in Placer. And then for state, I put county. And there's a right below the street address, it says separate listing address with commas. I unchecked it. And then when I click, and then when I get done adding that to my account, I get this, the 100-point home marketing plan to get home sold in Placer County. Now, this is phenomenal for my database. It's similar to the one that's already in your account by default when you sign up for Listings to Leads or when you've never done this before. I like this. I just like this one better. And I'm going to show you where you can edit the domain as well. So if you ever get your domain, like for example, here, let me find it. So here it says the 100.h.roads best listing. I would rather, and right under edit for that listing, right? It's not really a listing, but right in the edit, there is a section called domains. And then I can click edit. And I might just put your Placer home. I don't need it all capitalized, your Placer home. Save it. And then that will, it's going to regenerate. So I'm going to click flipbook, it'll regenerate. And now it's going to say on that URL, yourplacerhome.worldsbestlisting.com. So if you ever, and it happens to me all the time, I'll go through these and I'll realize, oh, you know what? Like here, 857 Perry, LANA.worldsbestlisting.com. So if I come back into Listings to Leads and I just go find that listing and right there, and I click on it, I go to domains and I can just edit that lane, hit save. And now that will update that URL right there. And now I click footbook and that will, oh, I misspelled the whole thing to begin with. Man, sometimes I got to wonder about myself. There we go. Let's just fix that as well. And let's go take a look. So that was listing presentation. Let me show you expired and how you would do it. So again, you're just going to go add listing manual. You're going to go, and again, this is for your farm, right? For multiple listings without having to create one for each of them. I'm going to select expired. And for street, I'm going to put the 100, just like before, essentially the 100+ point home marketing plan. And let me see, what did I have before? Always to get home sold in Placer County. Plan to get homes sold in Placer County. Remove the listing address, separate listing address with commas. I'm going to do that, separate, or no, I don't want that separated. I want that not separated. All right. And then I'm just going to, everything's going to be the same, right? Price TBD, location of description TBD, save and add photos. I'm going to add a photo of, again, what I would do is and I've done this before. I'll go to Zillow. Maybe it's one of you could use a sole listing of yours from before. But if you don't want to use anyone's, like you don't want to use an actual property, what I would do is I would get a photo I liked. It could be from another listing agent. It could be one of yours from a really good listing, and put it into ChatGPT. And the prompt is essentially, this photo belongs to somebody else. I only want to use this as a reference point. Please change the color, change the color from gray to brown, from brown to gray. Keep it within the appropriate like style of your area. Change the garage door from 1 to 2. Change the front entry door from black to red. Change the landscaping, add an oak tree, things like that. Does that make sense? So that way, because when I'm doing this for a lot of people, I don't necessarily want anyone's home in it, but I want the image used to be representative of the area. And all of these presentations, none of these are real homes. These are all homes where that one's like Shutterstock. Let me show you. So this one was from Zillow, and I did exactly what I just said. Change the garage door, change the color, change the roof line, change the landscaping. And that way nobody would ever know, like it was their home was the reference point. All right. I'm not going to use somebody else's photo in my marketing. This is a stock image right there. Let's see this one. That's actually stock image. Can't believe I'm using all the, and that one's from ChatGPT. So again, this was an actual listing and from actually Las Vegas. And I just changed the windows. So the windows were different. The garage was different. The landscaping in the front was different. If we go to one of these photos, it's a little easier to see. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, so I guess that's a little easier to see there. So yeah, the owner would never know that their home was the reference photo for this. And then that way I can use it in my listing presentation, in my, I can use it for my seller leads on my database. I could, in a postcard, if I want to send out a postcard. And so you'll know, because here, street address, that's for a specific property. Street address, specific property. Again, now when I see my street address showing something like the 100 plus point home marketing plan to get homes sold in Placer County, that is for all the seller leads in my database, because it says listing presentation. I specialize in getting homes sold that other agents couldn't, expired. So that's for all of those expireds in Placer County. So if I want to do a postcard, I want to do a print flyer, a door hanger, I want to do an email, like I mentioned before, I can go to My Plus Leads or Redex, get 200, 300, 400 emails, and I could put them on an email campaign. And a few more tricks here, not tricks, but before I send this out via text or email, one of the things that I do is I take let me close a few things here. I'm starting to get too many tabs open. Which one? Yep. All right. And where do you go to edit the domain? It's under edit, and then there's a tab called domains. All right, let's see. Let's grab this one right here. Man, I got all of let's see, why is that not coming up? All right, let's do this. So here's what I want to show you. When I want to send these out, and this could be John the other day got a referral from somebody he knew, and it was for a listing presentation. And so John sent this via text. All right. He sent I don't know if he sent specific for their home. I think he just sent the general one. And so the easiest way to do it is go to bit.ly. All right. bit.ly. You can use short URL. There's probably half a dozen different free short URL websites like this. And if you drop in that domain, create your bit.ly link, create your short URL, and right there. So that's fine. This is totally fine. If I were to copy that and I drop it into a text message. I drop it into an email. That will work. All right. But what I want to do is I want to make it look more attractive because I'm going to use this link to send to all of my seller leads, or I'm going to use it to send to all of my expired leads or all of the FSBO leads. What I would do is click where it says, and pay attention here because it's easy to do. And you only need to do it once per category. View link details. And there's a little edit pencil. Because I want to edit that link. So I'm going to click edit. And I'm going to edit the back half. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Placer County Homes. Now, it's not so short, but what it is, it's still short, but attractive, contextual, and more engaging. Because now when I send this in an email or a text message and people see Placer County Homes or Baton Rouge Homes or whatever it is, and then it'll just forward right to the flip book. Does that make sense? Yep, it's going to be on our YouTube channel, and I'll put it in our mastermind group as well. And I tell you, when you're in your listings leads account, we go over a lot of this stuff quite a bit. If you go to the announcements, the expired and seller lead pipeline accelerator, there's a 7 a.m. call and a 4 p.m. call Pacific, which is 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. East Coast time daily. You can just click there to register for these calls. We do them every single day. You can come in, you can ask a question. I can show you something in particular. Sometimes, yeah. So let me share something with you. Anybody have an open house coming up or like to do open houses or understand how powerful an open house is? The last 2 to 3 minutes here before we leave, I'm going to show you something that will blow your mind. And this is going to be a way to absolutely crush your open house seller lead generation. So John, you got one on Saturday. Perfect. So John, here's what you're going to do. Print up one of these, not expired, but for a listing presentation. It could be for a specific home, or you can come into listing presentation, print, and just print this up. All right. Print it up, bind it. If you go to our shopping list, and I'll put a link in, these are the cheapest and easiest, right? We got spiral binders, thermal binders, but these right here are also good. I prefer spiral because they lay flat a lot easier, but this one works in a pinch as well. Okay, so check this out. And I got a full video on this on YouTube, which I also put into the mastermind group last night. You're going to leave this on the table somewhere. You got your sign-in sheet, you got whatever, all right? And as people come in, please sign in. You got your script, and we do a lot of that, just our standard open house stuff right there. But you're going to mention at some point, if you'd like to see my 100 plus point home marketing plan to get home sold in the area here, it's right there on the table. That's it. If they are a renter, they're going to have no interest. All right. They're going to have like 2% interest. If they're a homeowner, regardless of the thinking about selling now or just a casual, no one's a casual homeowner, but casually thinking about selling, not thinking about selling, they are thinking about selling, they're going to be curious because you just said, I've got a 100 point home marketing plan sitting on the table over there. They could be a neighbor that's just looky-loo. They could be a buyer that's also thinking about selling. They are going to walk over to the table and they're going to pick this up. This could be the general one for the farm. This could be specific for that listing. This could be the general one that's in your account. Any one of the 3 versions doesn't matter. But they're going to start looking at it. They're going to be like, oh, wow. They're going to be looking at it. And then you just mention, we do social media, we do print, we do email. We go all the way from coming soon through just listed, and we redo our marketing at every stage. And then you'll see there's a QR code. Why don't you go ahead and scan the QR code and check it out and see what that looks like on your phone? All right. They scan the QR code, they're looking at it on their phone. And then you're going to say, I've only got one copy, but I would love to send you a copy. Would you like to see your home featured in it, just like the one that you're currently looking at? But I could put your home in there, no obligation, absolutely free. And in that way, you can see exactly what your home would look like. And the people that are going to be the most closer or closest to selling or thinking about selling are going to say yes. So you're going to know right away, this is someone that's thinking about selling. And then you're going to say, and let's just say they say no. So you ask, would you like a copy? Okay, great. Yes, I would. Would you like me to put your home in it so you can see what it looks like? Yes or no, doesn't matter for the next part, which is, would you like a hard copy? And I can drop it off next week if there's a time that's convenient for you. So don't even mention the mail or the phone text yet. All right. You want to be able to drop this off. And you might even include, and I can even give you, if you're thinking about selling at some point in the next 12 months, and if you got 5 minutes, I could do a 5-minute equity walkthrough and just show you what your home might be worth in today's market, give you some tips on increasing your home value. First things first is I would just get them, A, wanting to get a copy of this, B, if I can get them to agree to let me drop it off so I can meet them, C, or do they want to see their home in here? And now you know how to do that. And if they say, no, can you just email it or text it to me? Then I would say, great, what's your phone number? I'll send it via text. Either way, whether it's their home in it or not, right? The specific for their home or just the general one, right? You got the URL. Now you know how to either shorten it or just send the long one. And then you can also just send it via email. Does that make sense? Rick, great idea. It is a great idea. It is a great idea. Joan, what do you think? Do you think that's a great idea? And there's so many, oh my God, there's so many ways of using this. There are like unlimited. You saw the email, send it to your database. You got the hard copy, take it to an open house. You go door knocking with the nearby homeowner letter, take a copy of it with you. Because when you engage a homeowner, Scott Burry put 2.7 million in the pipeline in 3 days. Now he was targeting expireds, but if I'm going door knocking with the nearby homeowner letter to invite the neighbors to my open house, I'm going to take a copy of this with me, because if I get somebody engaged with me at the door, I want to be able to show them this, because it's going to, again, help me find out. Because again, I could say at the door, hey, would you like a copy of this with your home in it? And if they say yes, great. I can come back. Would Thursday at 4 o'clock be a good time to come back? Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Perfect. I'll come back then. I'll give it to you. Just curious, would you be interested in a quick 5-minute walkthrough analysis or equity analysis that I can get more information to you about what your home might be worth, what you could walk away with if you sold it in today's market? Or do you just want to get the copy only? Adding value to the whole thing. Joan says, yes, I'm going to do it. Awesome, Joan. And here's the thing. I'm going to let you all go. I've gone long enough. Get into the mastermind group. Let me know what your issues are, what your successes are, your feedback. Get on our daily calls. We do them every day. The people that join us typically join us on a pretty regular basis, but I really want you to, and we cover mostly expireds and getting into the seller leads in your database, because the application and use cases are very similar between the two. It's just that expireds are a much more targeted market, obviously, because they've already expressed an interest to sell. The seller leads in our database are, if it's 80 out of 100 expireds are going to relist in the next year, it's more like 10 out of 100, 5 out of 100 in our database. But the way that we go about it is very similar between the two. Excuse me. Daphne, Scott, does this have where we do the free? No, not specifically. But if they go to the property website, or here, check this out. And I've seen people do this as well. So do landing pages. I don't think for free home values. I don't think do we have one? Yeah, we got postcards and door. We don't have a print flyer, and I don't really know why we don't. but I know that we've got one for cash offer. Oh, iBuyer right here. And print flyer. That took me a little while to download. And maybe use Canva. Maybe we should come up with a Canva template. But you could completely, for the hard copy here, no, at this point, you can't embed and edit the flip book. But for the hard copy, if I want to put in if I want to add this to the back of my hard copy that I'm going to deliver to somebody, or I got at my open house, you can totally do that. And in fact, do I have? No, I don't. But I know John Summers right here. Check this out. Although I think I gave it to Michael Hellickson the other day. Yeah. So John Summers, he's with leading real estate companies of the world, and they got like this whole other luxury presentation thing that he added to the back of his hard copies. So I print the PDF version of the presentation, and then I print maybe this one, I put this one at the end of the hard copy. Yeah. Yes. I will drop that into the chat. And if you are in our expired group, let me just show you here, because we have a whole shopping list. So we've got the expired and seller lead pipeline accelerator. This is for clients only. I'll show you how to get there in a minute. And when you're in this group, they're under featured post, the daily action plan to engage and list expireds. If you click that and just click it again, click it twice. This is the whole lineup: call script, voicemail script, text script, email, door knocking, cover letter, trash sheet, even envelopes to use, stamps to use. And if I scroll down, I got my B leads, my C leads, posts worth reading. So great posts here worth reading. And then, oops, sorry about that. I just somehow got popped to the top. A shopping list. So right here. So laser printer. Here's a good spiral binder, I think. And there's even better ones, but for $48. And it seemed like it got good reviews, 4.2 out of 5. And I'll put this link in here too. But when you're in the group, again, under featured, daily action plan, John, yeah. So again, in this group right here, expired and seller lead pipeline Excel. That was the old 30-day challenge group. But again, we're going to keep doing this until February at least. So if I scroll down to featured, there's a feature, even on your phone, you'll see featured. And then that post right there, the daily action plan to engage and list expireds. And just click it again. And it'll come up to, and all these links are clickable. It's interesting because you'll click it and then another little pop-up will happen and you just click it again. So you click and then there's the link and you click that. All right, John, you good? All right, everybody. Yeah, that was a great price. I always try to show the great price stuff. We can spend $300 on a spiral binder, and you're more than welcome to do that. But at the same time, we want to keep budgets intact. All right. Last thing is, don't forget your affiliate link. I hate it when I don't hate it, I guess. My finance person loves it. The affiliate link. All right. If you're going to refer people to us, we pay 15% recurring, no cap, no limit. So right here, all you got to do is copy that link and you can share it with people. We got some marketing invites, which they're fine. A little bit more involved. But if you got somebody like in another Facebook group, in a mastermind group, in a coaching group, in a whatever group, you can just share your affiliate link with them and they'll get 21 free days versus the standard 14 at our website. Okie doke. All right, everybody. Good stuff. Everybody excited? Do you see the path to getting listings? All right. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It is not that hard. All right. And again, join us on our daily calls. We get way more into stuff. We get way into good details. There's more to it, but now that you see how these presentations are, the formats that you've got them in, the PDFs and the flip book, and how to get them in front of people, how to customize them, how to make it for a specific property or for the farm or database, you're gonna be rocking it. All right. You're gonna be rocking it. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Have a phenomenal day. We'll talk to you soon.